Did Blake Lively have Armie Hammer fired from Gossip Girl?
I wish I could take all of my passes back and use them all right now.
You worked at Blake Lively. You were on Gossip Girl for 4 episodes.
I was, yeah.
Did she fire you? Did you get fired? What happened? Why did you leave after 4? You're so handsome.
Listen,
you were like,
dude, listen.
You played
Here's
a
my
douchebag
official
millionaire.
Here's my official take on the whole thing that's going on, is that there is another fight going on that I'm not involved in and I have not been dragged into, and I'm perfectly happy with that.
Right.
I've got enough of my own problems before throwing my hat into someone else's ring. Like, I'm good.
Let me just say, that was a tough show to film, and I didn't end up actually filming all of the episodes I was supposed to because it was such a tough film.
Really? Literally, you said, get me out of this.
It was also like, get him out of here.
Hollywood's golden girl Blake Lively has suddenly been dragged into a jaw-dropping scandal, one that absolutely no one saw coming. Out of nowhere, disgraced actor Armie Hammer appeared on live TV and launched into a fiery rant targeting Blake with a string of serious accusations. His claims were so intense, social media exploded within minutes. But this wasn't your typical celebrity feud. This was a full-blown public ambush, one that might permanently change how people see Blake Lively. So what went down? And why would Armie Hammer, who's been dealing with his own ruined reputation, choose now to go after her?
A light blue, powder blue sweater, and you're having
course.
some Chardonnay.
I was actually also in acting class with Justin Baldoni when I was 19 years old.
Really?
20 years old. Yeah, I mean, this is almost 20 years ago now.
Did you hang out in between scenes? Did you work lines together?
Yeah, yeah, we did like some scenes together, I'm sure. Yeah, he seemed like a great guy. I mean, I didn't really know him that well.
He was nice.
Listen, bro, you're not dragging me into this. I'm not getting involved.
No?
That drama is their drama.
Sure?
I want nothing to
Are
do
you
with
sure,
it.
Hammer?
Oh, I don't want that smoke at all.
No? But you got a kissing scene with her. Was she a good kisser? You can say that.
I don't even remember, dude. I don't even remember.
You don't?
I wouldn't say if I did. I'm not getting involved. This is not my fight.
Hammer. We got a
Listen,
whole...
I have had
the
enough.
Greek chorus in here, they don't believe it.
I have had enough trial by media fire in my life. I'm good.
Not too long ago, Armie Hammer was considered Hollywood royalty. He starred in big films like Call Me By Your Name and The Social Network and was on track to become one of the biggest names in the industry. But everything came crashing down after shocking and deeply disturbing accusations about his personal life went public. These claims turned him into one of the most controversial figures in the business. Since then, he's kept a low profile, showing up now and then, but never really confronting the serious allegations tied to his name.
Let me tell you about the time that I met one Mr. Armie Hammer. It was in 2023 by my best friend, Rituals, and he introduced me because he knew what a Gossip Girl fan I was. Obviously, Armie was in season 2 of Gossip Girl. He played Gabriel, if you remember. So I walked into the house, and there he is sitting. I was aghast because not only is he so stunningly beautiful in person, he was so warm and welcoming, and he looked at, you know those people that just look at you and like, there's a bunch of people in the room, but you're the only person that exists, like they go directly to you. He's like that. He makes you feel like you're the only person who exists in the room. Gave me the time of day, was so warm, was so kind. I didn't bring up Gossip Girl because I was so like gaga, but he's just like a human being, a normal human being. Now, I'm not here to talk about the allegations of what went down with all those girlies, etc. I'm here to talk about what went down between Blake Lively and him on Gossip Girl because he just said in that clip by Watch What Happens Live with Andy and Chelsea that Blake Lively got him fired. And I am so not here for people using their power and clout on a set to get another human being fired from a job unless you commit some type of egregious crime. And from what it sounds like, Armie didn't. He, via the rumblings and the blinds, just said Blake Lively's not a nice person, which now we know is true. I say all this to say, hi Armie. And second of all, justice. He must be sitting back somewhere, if he even cares anymore. I'm sure he's so far moved on from this.
That all changed recently. During what was supposed to be a relaxed roundtable with other actors, the conversation turned to past co-stars. Someone casually brought up Blake Lively, likely expecting a fond or funny story. But Armie's expression shifted. He smirked, leaned in, and with a calm but chilling tone said, "Let's talk about Blake Lively, America's favorite hypocrite." The room froze. No one could have predicted what was coming next.
Did Blake Lively have Armie Hammer fired from Gossip Girl? So Armie Hammer played Gabriel Edwards, who was Serena, Blake Lively's character, her love interest on Gossip Girl. Well, Armie Hammer was abruptly removed from the series after only completing 4 episodes in season 2. And he addresses this very briefly on an appearance on Andy Cohen's Watch What Happens Live. Let's watch.
On Gossip Girl, who was the biggest diva on set?
Biggest diva on set of Gossip Girl.
You can say it because it's so far away from where you are now. That show's over. I suggest that you do not pass on another question.
By the way. Thank you so much.
I wish I could take all of my passes back and use them all right now. Yeah. Let me just say that was a tough show to film, and I didn't end up actually filming all of the episodes I was supposed to because it was such a tough film.
Really? Literally, you said, get me out of this.
It was also like, get him out of here. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it just literally was that. Whose love interest for you?
I was Blake Lively's love.
You were?
Yeah.
Okay, well
Sounds
then.
like she was the problem.
It sure does, Chelsea.
No, that's not what I'm
That's
saying.
exactly what I was thinking.
Don't put words into his mouth.
Yes. Because my foot is already there.
No, it is not.
Armie didn't hold back. His claims about Blake were not just surprising, they were deeply personal. He accused her of playing a major role in his downfall, saying she had worked behind the scenes to blacklist him. According to Armie, Blake was well aware of the accusations against him long before they became public, and instead of doing something about it, she allegedly kept quiet, using that knowledge to protect herself and subtly encourage the industry to turn on him.
So while Armie Hammer doesn't directly confirm that Blake Lively had him fired, it was rumored that he called Lively a B-word on the set, which ultimately ended up with him getting nixed. And this all comes from some messages that were posted to Dumois back in 2021 when Armie Hammer was at the height of his scandal. Oh no, what do you think? Did she get Armie Hammer fired? He only delivered on 4 episodes. He was supposed to do more. He seems very touchy about why this all went down.
He went even further, saying that Blake Lively is nothing like the sweet, all-American image she presents in public. He described her as a calculating Hollywood powerhouse who carefully manages her reputation while secretly pushing out anyone she sees as a threat. One of the most shocking moments came when he implied that she had even used her marriage to Ryan Reynolds to influence how the industry operates, suggesting she had enough pull to make sure her enemies had trouble finding work. Audiences were stunned. Clips of the interview hit social media almost instantly and started trending. Hollywood insiders quickly took sides. Some former co-stars and crew members came forward backing Armie's version of events. One anonymous crew member from Gossip Girl called Blake a master manipulator who always stayed focused on protecting her image.
Watching Blake and Ryan and their reputations really taking a hit because of alleged behavior executed by these two, you know, the piper needs to be paid, as they say. By the way, just came out today via Variety. Just Mobility demands Disney and Marvel preserve all documents relating to Ryan Reynolds and Nice Pool. We saw the Nice Pool clip of Ryan Reynolds seemingly is definitely, allegedly, but definitely mocking Just Mobility, which is horrible.
But not everyone bought into the accusations. Blake's close friends were quick to defend her. Actress Anna Kendrick was among the first to speak up, calling the claims baseless and clearly a desperate move from Armie.
Blake Lively and Anna Kendrick hit the red carpet of their new movie Another Simple Favor at South by Southwest, and Anna Kendrick is going viral for her reactions when asked what it was like working with Blake again and how Blake's drama has impacted this movie.
Anna, what does it mean to be working with Blake again? Talking about you.
How does it feel like the movie's being impacted kind of by everything happening around, going on in the world?
Why, what happened? I did ayahuasca and the last year of my life is just gone, but I've heard the movie's amazing.
Wait, thank you.
There were also reports that Ryan Reynolds was furious behind the scenes. Sources say he even had words with top industry executives about what had happened. But the most surprising reaction came from Blake herself. She said absolutely nothing. No post, no statement, not even a hint of a response. In a place like Hollywood, silence can sometimes speak louder than words. And in this case, that silence might mean even more, especially considering Armie Hammer's own dark history. Back in early 2021, Armie's promising career fell apart after horrifying accusations surfaced, claims of abuse, manipulation, and disturbing fantasies involving cannibalism. several women stepped forward with alarming stories and messages. One of them, ex-girlfriend Courtney Vuskovic, revealed chilling details, saying he wanted to eat parts of her body and control every part of her life.
I get to come over to your house with my bag of goodies, completely incapacitating you until I was done with you.
I'm here to talk about what happened in my relationship with Armie Hammer. Not only is he an actor, he was gorgeous and tall, and I was starting to fall for him. But something didn't feel right. Once the sexual nature of the DM started, it was all that he wanted to ever talk about. And then he mentions the ropes. Like, it's like the ropes were around your neck, your wrists, your ankles, behind your back. I had bruises. I hated it. We take a break.
So where does Blake Lively come into all this? Well, if we go back to the years before Armie's scandal broke, there were whispers in Hollywood that Blake had long been suspicious of him. While they never starred in a major project together, they moved in the same elite circles. And some insiders say she started to quietly distance herself from him long before the public found out about his behavior. Was she trying to warn others? Or did she play a role in making sure his secrets eventually came to light?
He is not innocent in any of this without question. I really do think she's just a spoiled brat. Like, it just goes down to something that simple. She's a spoiled brat, and she's used to getting what she wants from a time that she was a kid. And this is what she wanted. And I do think that people have not pieced together, and I've been speaking about it, the Scarlett Johansson piece of this is also something. She's the one that walked away from Ryan. He has control issues, and she was working with Wayfarer on her directorial debut at this time that this movie was being shot. And lo and behold, what is Blake trying to do? She's trying to make Ryan scramble to get her directorial rights over this movie. Like they're in this like weird competition. Yeah. Another piece of this, Scarlett Johansson was also shooting a movie with Channing Tatum. Out of nowhere, Ryan plucks Channing Tatum up out of obscurity and puts him in the Deadpool and Wolverine movie, premiering as Gambit. And he did this whole thing thanking him. So there is a Scarlett Johansson element. There is a competitive element. And I do believe that Blake Lively put pressure on him because she's not that smart. She's not a brilliant actress, and she's not a Scarlett Johansson. And I think that, you know, she suffers from that insecurity of wanting to feel like she belongs in the A-list club that Taylor Swift is in, and that her husband kind of isn't really in, but like, you know, they now have a lot of A-list friends.
If the rumors about Blake's behind-the-scenes power moves are true, then it's easy to believe that Armie may have held a serious grudge against her for years. This wouldn't be the first time a power struggle played out quietly in Hollywood. Some believe his bitterness could even date back to the 2010 Gossip Girl crossover drama, but maybe it grew into something much more personal. Blake really had a part in exposing him. His public attack might be his twisted version of payback, his way of trying to take her down with him.
He's a big movie star. I'm not naive enough to think that I'm the only one. I knew something about him would come up in the future because I know how careless he is.
He said things like he wanted to barbecue and eat her. And then this story blew wide open.
The Hammer name wielded a lot of prestige and power, but beneath it all was a dark world of deceit, betrayal, and corruption.
Very wealthy, privileged men got away with different bad things throughout these generations.
And it's what happened to Armie Hammer to a sick degree.
You just don't wake up and become this abuser. There has to be a seed that's planted. My name is Casey Hammer, and I'm about to reveal the dark, twisted secrets of the Hammer family.
But there's another theory. What if Armie isn't just bitter, but actually trying to shine a light on Hollywood's double standards? The industry has a long history of ignoring toxic behavior until it becomes impossible to hide. Some believe Armie may be trying to expose people like Blake, public darlings who might be hiding secrets of their own. Could he be hinting that she's not the only one with a carefully managed image?
Armie Hammer's a really good guy. He's charming, he's nice, he's always been that way. Up or down. Hello, Hammer.
Don't tell anybody. I have a new reputation to protect here.
What is it?
Cannibal fist. We're just going for it, dude.
Whoa! What does it feel like to say that, by the way?
It's funny for me now, in the sense that, like, look, are there things that probably could have stuck that didn't? Sure. But the thing that stuck is this very weird, bizarre thing, but it's also incredibly liberating.
Armie's accusations are definitely attention-grabbing, but are they believable? On one hand, he named names and was very specific. And there's that quiet but growing group of insiders who seem to support him. That alone makes people wonder if Blake's perfect image isn't as squeaky clean as it seems. But at the same time, Armie's credibility is shot. His past makes it hard for people to take anything he says seriously. Many see this whole thing as a last-ditch effort to make headlines by dragging a popular star down with him.
This is a win for Lively for sure. He did create an attorney's eyes only category to add to the model protective order, which is what she wanted. He narrowed down what fits into it. So he added the word highly and the word significant. So instead of just being able to designate something AEO because it is likely to cause competitive business injury or personal injury, it now has to be highly likely to cause significant business or personal injury. So it raises the level a little bit, but they can still designate whatever they want. He also left the burden on the people trying to lift the designation on the people who don't want it. So Friedman's burden shifting argument did not work.
Blake Lively has always come across as fun, stylish, and grounded. Known for her playful social media posts and solid marriage to Ryan Reynolds, she's managed to avoid major scandals, until now. But Hollywood is famous for its smoke and mirrors. If even a sliver of what Armie said is true, Blake's silence may not be about staying classy. It could be about damage control.
Armie Hammer didn't eat any people, but he did eat the heart of an animal. So he's on the Louis Theroux podcast, and basically Louis interviewing him and is like, hey, let's just go through all the things you've been accused of.
Are you a cannibal? You know what you have to do to actually be a cannibal? You have to actually eat human flesh.
Correct. Did you cut the heart out of the animal and eat it while still warm?
No, you don't eat the whole heart.
You didn't.
One of the traditions is you take a bite out of the heart. It's sort of like a almost overly charged male rite of passage when you go hunting for your first time.
It's not weird when you think about it, though. What do you mean it's not weird? We eat animal flesh every day. An animal that's warm and you're eating its heart?
You're not going to eat it when it's cold.
So you did that?
Yeah. Not for the purpose of any cannibalism or any sexual gratification.
I get it's a hunting tradition, but if you're Armie Hammer, stop talking about this stuff, man. He's not a cannibal. It's just gross to do that.
People think it's gross how much oil you put on in the morning and no one's judging you.
Oh, Moroccan. I swim. So what does you swimming have to do with? Because it dries your skin out.
This story isn't going away anytime soon. If more people speak up to back Armie's claims, Blake's reputation could take a major hit. She probably won't be blacklisted like he was, but that flawless image might not survive this unscathed. On the other hand, if it turns out that Armie made all of this up, it might officially end whatever's left of his career. One thing is clear, Hollywood loves a juicy scandal, but it loves a good comeback even more. Whether this turns out to be a major reckoning for Blake Lively or just a sad attempt by Armie Hammer to stay relevant, only time will tell. But one thing is for sure, in Hollywood, nothing is ever quite what it seems. And every now and then, the truth breaks through in the most shocking way. Stay tuned. This story is just getting started.